Hi everyone. Recently I got my new iPad Pro. So I was doing my initial setting and setting up the iPad Pro. Then I thought that I should make a video to showcase like how I'm doing my setup and few tricks and tips that I normally use while using my iPad or any of the iOS device. So this video is all about the tips and tricks and some of the settings that as a user we should be doing it to ease the whole workflow or using the or enhance the experience of using an iOS device. So straight away, let's step into the few of the changes or few of the setup and tips and tricks that I normally do in the iPad. The first and foremost is the Mail app. So if you look at the Mail app, by default, when the iOS gets shipped to us and we configure our mail, we get, or particularly I get annoyed in terms of deleting the email because I don't have an option to delete the email. So if I tap this particular email I want to delete, and if I slide my finger towards left, I only get this archive option. So the other alternative that I used to do until I came to know about this trick was to go at the folder and then select the trash. So like this, it used to I used to delete it. But then I realized there's a better way to do it. So in order to enable the delete functionality in the Mail app, what we need to do is go to the setting app. There we select the account which we need to enable the delete functionality. So in this particular case I'm using a Gmail account, so tap the Gmail account and then you will get this pop-up, and if you scroll down there's something called an advanced settings. So you can see this advanced setting. So once you tap the advanced setting, you see that under the middle section where it says move discarded messages into, by default it is ticked as an archived mailbox option. So what we need to do is go and change it to the delete mailbox option and just say, then go back and say done. So once this is done and we go back to our mail app, you will see that earlier when I was sliding my finger towards left, I was getting that archive option. Now you will get a delete option. So by just sliding it down all the way, I can right away delete my mails from my mail application instead of going through that tedious route of finding the trash can and doing it. Of course, both the options are available, but we can choose howsoever we want. So I find it much more easier to keep on deleting it from here rather than doing it the other way around. So I hope this helps many of us in terms of setting off the mail. The second thing is that let's say you are reading something, okay, and you are scrolling down and down, and the web page is so big that you get tired by swiping it up and go back home. So there's a cool, nice trick that Apple have given, the iOS have given us. If you just tap at the top, it just comes back to the home screen of it. So I'll right away show it to you. Okay. Just tap right here and you will be at the top of the page. It's like, we message blah 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 blah, and then we suddenly realize that, let me type something else, that we need to go to a particular line, and this is how normally we hold down and that's how we move across to various words that we have typed. Now there's a cool way of doing it. Hold on to your two fingers and press gently across the keyboard. You'll see that now I can move across wherever I want. If you're being gentle, so it'll give you the exact position where you want to move. So again, I'll press and see how I can move across the whole screen of where I can type things and all those, and I can just release my finger and the cursor will be coming back there, and you can just do your changes like this, and you can just, so instead of doing a hold like this and then instead of holding it and then scrolling up and down. It's a cool, neat feature that you can use. Let me delete all these. Okay. Now, as part of the new iOS, now iOS 10 user can use some cool and nice trick with the emojis. So if you want to send some emojis and you want to send it across with some animation, if you hold down to this blue arrow key a little bit for a longer period of time, you'll get these options. So it'll send you send with gentle, send with loud, send with slam. So these are the feature that you can enable it as part of the message and send it across to the reader. Similarly, you can also tap at the stop screen and there are cool animation that goes across the screen. So there are balloons, there are these colorful papers that flies across, similarly hearts and all those stuff that can be used as an animation, and then you just have to tap the blue arrow key and the message will go along with that animation. Okay, so I will not send across to anybody this animation, but I was just showing it for demonstration purposes. Split screen mode is one more mode that the app that you are. Screen mode is one of the features that got enabled, and many people use it as a part of multitasking process. So a split screen is basically having two applications running side by side. So if you swipe your finger from your right towards left, you'll get this two screen view. Now, by default, the screen of these two are not activated. The one that is activated is the one which says feature, which is nothing but the Apple Store app. But you can work on the two screens simultaneously. So if you just hold on to this section of which shows the scroll bar and drag it to your left, and you can see that now it got two of the multitasking screen got activated. Now, based on your choice, you can split the screen as you wish and just remove your finger, and you'll see that now two of the apps are simultaneously usable by the user. So I use quite a lot on these multitasking features. So this is one of the cool, nice trick that one can go. And similarly, if you want to just go back, just hold down and then push it right across to your right side, and that's it. You're gone with the multitasking mode. There's another cool feature that you can see is about the speech. Okay, then you go to accessibility and then you go to speech. Now, speech selection, you just turn these on. Okay, there are various voice that you can look at it. So if you want to see English and you want to know various accents and you're familiarizing, or you're very familiar with one particular accent, you can choose and make that default accent as part of this. This one I'm just using the default accent. So you come back to the speech, and you can also change your speaking speed or speaking rate from this caption. So if you move towards your left, it'll speak slow, and if you move towards your right, it would speak faster. So rabbit and turtle just signifies the speed that an individual would be speaking on whatever the content. Now, once you have done this, you have to just go to any of the app and it will read it for you. So let's go to an app and say, let's say this is the one which I want to say. So select all, and then there's a speak button that gets activated. If you can see here, there's a speak button that is there. You just have to say speak, press it, and it will start reading whatever is there in this screen. Now, currently you can't hear anything because I'm recording the screen, so it is only recording my voice. But if you are doing it on your own iPad, you can hear its content, and based on your choice of language and speed and all those stuff, you can go back to the general setting and change those stuff in the speak mode. This is one more thing that I use sometimes, not very often, but it's something worth using it. Now the other thing that, like, normally what happens is, normally you are not worried about, since you're using an Apple or a Mac product, or a Apple product, so you're not much worried about the battery life of it, but by default this comes as battery as green, and based on the juice that is there, the green moves from right side to the left side of the screen, so that you know what kind of, or what percentage you have. But I don't like this. I rather want to have a numeric representation of the battery life or the juice that is there. So what I do, I normally go to the settings and change those. So let's see, where is the battery? You can see the battery is there. So instead of battery percentage, you just have to tap this, and you can see at the top it changed to a numeric representation of the battery life. Okay, so now at least showing 100% recorded, 100% battery life. Similarly, if you go down, it gives you a statistics in terms of your battery usage. Now it says 29, 20% and all those stuff. Now if you want to know more about how each of the application are using your battery life, you see this clock icon there. If you just press it once, you will see in the screen that it is showing each of the application, how long does it used from your battery juice. So it says for notes it has used 26 minutes, settings 9 minutes, so on and so forth. So it gives you an indication of your battery consumption, and based on that you can check which application is using how much battery, and you can kill those application as you want. Now killing an application is very simple. You just double tap, okay, and it gives you the application that are on. Now you can swipe your finger up and each of the application get killed, but if you want to have two of the windows getting, or two of the applications getting killed, just hold on both the applications. So let's say I want to kill the Apple Store and Safari, so I'm holding down both through two of my fingers and gently swiping it down like this, and it goes away. So this is how you can do by one, or you just hold on two of it and you can quickly clear both of them. Now I am saying, you're getting it, because I'm using my iPad like this. So there you go. So you can kill all your applications. Now coming to when you are doing something in your Safari, let's say, and you want to search something. So normally what happens is you swipe your finger down and the whole application or screen comes down, which gives you whole stats of your screen and all those stuff. That sometimes gets annoying and you don't want to look at this. What you can do is gently scroll your finger from top to bottom and leave it just about this height, and you can see that it only shows you the search bar, and there you can type whatever you want to type here. And let's say Safari is what I'm typing, so you type your Safari and then just press it and it will open the relevant application or whatever you want to search. So that's a nice and clean way of not having all your stats coming into the front screen. So just by holding your finger or swiping your finger down a little bit, you can get that small bar, and you can use it instead of having the full bar coming like this. Okay. Now, one more thing that I sometimes do is I connect my iPad to a docking station and listen to music through the iTunes store and the music app that is there in my iPad. Now my speakers are a little far away from my bedside, so I sometimes get lazy and I don't want to get up at the mid of the evening or night whenever I'm sleeping. I just want the music to stop on its own before I go to sleep. So what the Times of India, any of these applications that I use it very often, I can go there and automatically this becomes it becomes live. The other way of doing it is have been placed and you switch off the relevant instrument, go to your clock and then go to your timer, set the timer. Let's say if I'm going to sleep within the next 20-25 minutes and I want the music to stop after 25 minutes, go to the time whatever you want, and you see this radar app, the radar function that is showing. Tap it and then scroll all the way down. You can see there's something called stop playing. Okay, once you tap this, okay, so by default what it happens, and when you say start, by default, okay, when the timer comes to 0 or close to 0, your music would stop on its own. So you don't have to get up and, like, close off your iPad or any other instrument to close the music off. So it would be done automatically by this particular application. Now, sometimes, not very often, but you see that your App Store and iTunes Store are a bit slow in terms of its response. It's maybe because of the cache that is holding the speed and the memory that it is using it. So you can clear your cache by just pressing 10 times on any of these icons, and it will clear the cache that is there for these application that you're in. Let's say I'm in this app store and I want to clear the cache of this. So I'll just press 10 times on the featured category. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you can see that it cleared all its cache, and my app is now back to its normal strength in terms of performance. So this is how you can clear the cache in the application. You can do it with any of the other application also. Let's say if you want to go to iTunes Store, and if you are saying, let's say, music, I'll say it 10 times like this and it'll clear. So it's pretty much the same thing that you would do for any of the applications or default app, the inbuilt application of Apple. Now, other things that I sometimes do is, like, I used to use particular bookmarks, or I often visit a particular website very often. So either I can have them as part of my bookmarks here, and then I can every time go and use those website very often. So if I'm going for the news a lot, okay, I just have to go up, tap this icon, okay, and say add to home screen, and just say add. So automatically it places the BBC as an icon in my screen, and then from there on I just have to click this and it directly takes me to the BBC web page itself. So like this you can create 5 or 6 or 10, how much ever you want, and keep it handy as part of your daily process, so that you just have to just go and tap it, and instead of going to and actually typing in the address bar at the top of the Safari browser. Now, one more thing that I often do is, by default, the Apple iPad or iPhone comes with a numeric passcode feature. So if you want to be a little more secure in terms of your device, so you can activate alphanumeric password in your device. So for that, you just have to go to Touch ID and passcode, and I will press the password that okay. Now there you can see under change your passcode, go and see this passcode option. Okay, once you press the passcode option, it gives you customizable passcode. So it gives you custom alphanumeric code, custom numeric code, and 4-digit numeric code. So you can choose your custom alphanumeric code, and now the section is open for whatever you want to put as alphanumeric password. So it will accept numbers and special characters and all those stuff. So you can use those and create your own password, which is you should remember all the time, and which will make your iPad much more secure. Now I'm not going to change my password. So for the timing, I'll do a cancel, and this, and it would come back to my default passcode that I've been putting for not in the devices that I'm having, so that I don't have to change it and I don't have to forget this password. So these are a couple of things that I normally go and change and do in my iPad or Apple device, any of my Apple device. I hope these small little things that I have shown it to you guys are useful in your day-to-day activity, and you would be liking these videos that I'm posting and helping me to share my activities and my process with you guys, so that you can also take help and benefit from that process. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.